Please, we're going live. We're just talking about how to get kids to eat healthy, which is much easier, I feel, than parents like to believe. Um, People that eat healthy, kids that eat healthy, are the exact same. I mean, as far as adults that eat healthy and kids that eat healthy, they're the exact same, and they're not eating. I mean, they're not eating bad because they want to eat bad. They just don't care how they're eating. So whatever is the most convenient thing to eat, that's what they're gonna eat. Good morning TikTok, good morning YouTube. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Chaos. Just talking to my parents about the easiest way to get your kid to eat healthy. Eating healthy is just convenience. Not eating healthy is convenience. When you when you go out to when you go out and you're driving around and you see somewhere to eat, 9 times out of 10, it's not a healthy spot. There are not many restaurants that's sitting up there trying to focus on the health idea when you can just focus on feeding people. And as long as you're feeding people, they don't really care about what happens to you after that. If you cause to develop cancer because you ate it too many times, and they're gonna tell you that's not their concern. Their concern is really focused on being convenient, being fast food, and you being able to make the money off of it. They got a service, they offer it to you with the goods and services that they offer. It's convenient for you, therefore you the consumer, and you consume it. Um, you have to live with that same idea, that same lifestyle, that same premise when you're dealing with being healthy. My kid, it's not convenient for them to eat unhealthy. Not because they know I'm a whipping because they ate some chips. They know they're gonna get in trouble because they ate some cake. They have birthday cakes and etc. But at the same time, we don't buy any cakes on any other extra days. We don't buy junk food and put it in the cabinet and say y'all need to stop eating it. If they have a taste for junk food, they know how junk food tastes. The first person that had to give it to them had to be me. So I can't get mad at my kids when I'm trying to now get them to eat healthy, and I'm still buying the things that enable them to eat unhealthy. So what we do every morning, my boys are up there doing education. We've already done our training stuff on the other days, and today, which I normally don't film because everybody loves to see them jumping around because they love to complain and tell me that they're doing too much, not because they love to support me. However, these are the days that y'all don't get to see. These are educational days. And educational days, y'all can see me do this content, and it shows you what I do instead of what my boys do on these days. On these days, which is just like any other day, I fix their food. And fixing their food, I'm gonna make it accessible for them to eat healthy, right? So when they get to school, do I expect them to eat what I give them? Yeah, I do. I hope I raise them right, that they can trust me, that they know that this is how you're supposed to eat because it's going to take care of you in the long run. Instead of just living your life that you're going to eventually die, you're going to live your life that is going to be amazing before you die. You feel me? So they can be just like any other kid. They can pass it to somebody else, whatever. But what's convenient for them is convenient to go ahead and eat it. You ain't got to look for nobody to pass it to anybody else. You're going to go ahead and eat it because it's right there. And they love apples. We can't keep apples in the house. We can't keep fruit in the house. We can't keep none of this stuff in the house. This is during the time that I'm not telling them to eat it. We can't keep it in the house. So I know if I make it convenient and I give them an apple instead of them seeing chips and stuff and wanting that over the apple, I know what they're going to eat because it's convenient, not because they're choosing one over the other. They can either go find $1 or two to buy some chips, or they can eat what they have and they already like it anyway. So I assume that since I engaged them the taste buds to start liking fruits and vegetables, this is what we gave them first. This is what we push consistently, even if it ain't the stuff that was first. We push this consistently And this is what we have in our house. We don't have no bags of chips. If you're gonna look over there and find some chips, you got some sun chips that are made out of grain. Are they the best? Ain't the best. They're just better. We don't try to claim to be the best, even though we are. We are. We don't proclaim to be only the best. We just make sure that we're doing better than the regular chips or whatever. Our kids are not robots. They actually like chips and etc. But I'm not gonna go buy the worst thing and get mad at them because that's all they want to eat. I'm not gonna want them to dress a certain way and then go and buy them the other clothes and tell them you don't need to wear this often. No, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna spend my money on it and then complain about it when they take to it. You shouldn't have gave it to them, and that's on you. Normally, we create our own things. We create the situation that we don't like the most, and in knowing that, I try to make sure I create less demons for myself as possible. So I get up. I want my boys to eat more apples, eat more. They eat the mess out of this stuff. So I want them to take it in more as much as possible. So I get up and prepare it to make sure that it's conveniently there for them. So when they walk around the house, they just grab it and eat it. It's already washed off. It's already we take I take the peel off. I don't trust the fact that you spraying pesticides on my stuff and you telling me to wash it off. And this one way is the best way to wash it off. I don't believe in that. Not when it comes to my kids. So Bryson, you can talk and all that stuff. You win the live, so if you need something, go get it. Uh, Walk around. My boys be trying not to interrupt me in the live because I raised them to not interrupt me. Period. However, I like to let them know we're in the live, and his parents was an athlete. It ain't nothing you can do it with it because the whole ideal and the whole premises is based on having kids. And I'm gonna blind myself with the juice. It's based on having kids, but people trying to have the kids and they lie. The whole ideal is about having kids. It's about maneuvering around with your kids and getting your kids to buy into the system that uh, being healthy is better, and that's physically, that's chemically, which is food based, and mentally. Right, fellas? Is anybody better than us? Nobody. Nobody. You feel me? Nobody. And that's how we raise them to think and believe. And what you think and believe, whether it's positive or negative, that's what it is. Know that. But yes, so what I do, I wake up early. They can pick whichever one. I don't care which one they decide. Whatever one's their favorite, whatever one we have at the time. Pick whatever they want and take it to school. But I make it convenient for them to have. If you're not doing your part, you want your kids to eat a certain way, but you're buying the worst stuff. You don't eat that way. So how they gonna even have the taste bud? Like we don't pass on diseases. Let's get that out your way. We're not passing on diseases. Passing on a disease is 3% of your DNA. Pass on 3% of that. But now passing on bad habits, passing on the fact that if I eat something on a regular basis, my kids most likely gonna like that same something because that's what I have told them. Physically, I've told them by example that is the best thing to eat. Right? So if I'm telling you by example that this is the best thing to eat, and you get older, you're gonna feel that that's the best thing to eat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a better example. Some of y'all parents can't cook worth shit. Some of y'all parents can't cook. But I guarantee, because you have ate that nasty mess for so long, when your parents cook, you eat all of it because you think it's the best thing in the world. Guaranteed. And the reason being is because of habit. You're used to that taste, and then being used to that specific taste and the way it's prepared, you're gonna eat it because you have learned for that to be a good taste. Meaning, if you fed doodle all your life, you're gonna be in love with eating doodle. If you fed cake and told that it's bad, you're gonna prefer that doodle over that cake. That's just how it is. We pass on habits. We don't pass on diseases. Like TV, which is horrible that black people would even do these commercials. But I guess when you don't know no better, you're doing these commercials thinking that you're helping your people. You're thinking that we have a higher case of certain diseases that are caused by what you eat. No, if they ate the way that we eat, which they gave us our diet to make sure that mentally we were already moving slow, thinking slow. They ate the same way, they would have the same diseases. What you have to do is change your habits, make it convenient to eat healthy food. If you're driving around and there's a health spot right, mandatorily placed right beside an unhealthy spot, and the food pricing with the same, mind you, fast food is not cheap. There's nothing, absolutely nothing cheap about fast food. Eating unhealthy and eating healthy is honestly the same. It depends on what unhealthy and healthy food you're getting at the time. So I'm gonna place y'all over here so I gotta keep turning my head 30 different ways or whatever. But basically, we decide and we help our kids be more convenient when it comes to what they accept and what they want as a food source. If you're not making it accessible to them, you're not making it more acceptable, then they're not going to eat healthy. So now, what I do, I went live working out at 5 a.m. Once I finish my workout, I start preparing food. I want to make sure that when it's time to snack and they're walking around, they can walk by a bowl of grapes, they can walk by a thing of mangoes, they can walk by this stuff and just pick it up and eat it. I don't want them to look at the mango and think I don't feel like peeling it. I don't want them to look at the oranges and be like, I don't feel like peeling it. I want them to walk by, reach their hand in the bowl, and it to be just as convenient as it is to walk in the refrigerator and to get something out of there that is not my favorite for them to eat. However, I also explained to y'all, I'm not buying nothing in my refrigerator that I don't want them to eat. I don't want them eating uh, cupcakes and etc. I'm not buying it. It makes it easier. I don't have to figure out if they're gonna choose between the lesser of two evils. What I do is make sure I make the positive of eating good easy and convenient for them. I cut up some apples for them. They might not want to take the apples. They might want to take the mangoes. I'm fine with that. I eat the apples. You want a snack. You want to make it more convenient to snack on something that you're supposed to be eating anyway. Period. It's not hard to do. You just have to do your part. So while my boys are up, instead of training today, since they have education, because you got to give them days off, I work my boys hard. I work them far too hard not to give them days off. So while they're taking a day off from training during their education, which even on their training day, they might have to do some quick reading or something. While they're doing that, I'm doing this. I'm not sitting down trying to get that moment with them in front of the TV or whatever. I'm not watching the news, which is always negative. It's never anything positive. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm doing is preparing food that I want them to eat so they can eat it. If I don't even know if y'all can see over here, I want them to take vitamins, right? I don't hope my kids can get up and take vitamins, and then I don't hope I remember because I know I'm a human being. I can forget myself. So since I don't want to do none of that, while preparing their food, what I do, I set the vitamins out. Now vitamins are already sitting out, so if they're gone, I know they took them. If they're not gone, I know they didn't take them. But out of sight, out of mind. They're human beings too, and then they're kids. They're human beings and kids, so their priorities are not the same as mine. So I put the vitamins right here, so they don't have to take them out of the container. I'm not going to treat them like, well, no, you should remember. I might not remember, but sometimes I don't take my vitamins. So how can I be mad when they don't remember? And then when they start to not remember, it becomes a habit. Now nobody's taking vitamins. So instead, take my stuff out and take my vitamins. While I'm taking my vitamins, I go and take theirs out. And I put it out there so they can take it. And 9 times out of 10, if they see it, they're going to take it. Most likely, it's more convenient. Life is about convenience, and they have taught us that with so many different ways that they set up the world. Like I'm teaching my boys how to open the door for their mom, but yet now we got doors that open up automatically. Teach my boys how to walk around and unlock the door for a lady and let the mom in the car. Well, now you got auto lock. You don't even need to walk around and besides open up the door. You know what I mean? Like there's so much that they're taking away from being a gentleman, being a man, that when it comes to raising boys to be men, or raising young ladies to know how boys are supposed to treat them, it's being taken away from us. So we have to still find ways to instill those things. And in finding ways to instill those things, it start at home. It start with coming up with concepts that automatically causes those things to be enacted. Eating eating healthy, prepare the food. This has nothing to do with their breakfast. This has nothing to do with their lunch. Nothing. This is about convenience. This is gonna be sitting here whenever they decide that they want to get some of it. They don't have no way of getting chips out of my house. They have no way because I haven't bought no chips, so I know they can't go and get the chips over the over the grapes or over the mangoes, over the oranges. They have no way of getting chips over this. But what is readily ready? These oranges are already ready. The apples are already cut up. The mangoes are already cut up. Like this stuff is already sitting out ready on the table, and whoever eats it, eats it. It's on them. Now, let's talk about trusting kids. Do you think my kids don't eat chips, don't eat other things that I don't like? They do. My kids are human. They do. And I don't even want them to lie to me to create that space where they'll say they're not doing something that I know most likely they're doing. Why create that environment where your kid so nervous about doing wrong that they have to lie to you? I much rather know that they are doing it. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to buy chips and put in my cabinet. I'm not going to give them a choice between one or the other in my house. They're not bringing a bag of chips in my house. They're not stopping off eating somewhere and then bringing a bag of chips. So now the next son is thinking about he's going to do the same thing. They're not also going to store those chips in my cabinet. It's my cabinet. You put that shit in my cabinet. What I put in my cabinet is what goes in my cabinet. And when you put something in my cabinet, that'll look like all of the other stuff that's in my cabinet. That's how I make sure that they're not doing anything inside of my house, in my presence, that I don't go for it. Outside of my presence, I'm not saying do what you want to do, but what you're going to do is not bring it back to my presence. I'm going to make sure that you respect me enough to know that this is how we eat, this is how we live, but in this house, it would be done this way. Appreciate you. Thanks for the gifts too. Appreciate you. Good morning, girl. Love the fish. Yeah, like I said, life is about convenience. They have taught us too many times it's okay to be lazy and to be convenient. So as you drive around, they're gonna give you what they call fast food. It's not called health food. And then when they're giving you health food, how come your health food isn't always organic food? Why is that? Why you have a health section in the store? That means that everything is in the other section. Those company should be sued because they automatically know that it's not good for you. Why are you allowed in the country to sell anything that is potentially harmful when you're taking a certain amount of it? Is that well, you're not going to take in this amount of this? How do you know? Because after I ate so many things, by the time I get to that thing of yours, now I had an abundance of the wrong thing. So, and knowing that, every company should be sued. Every CEO should be arrested, but these companies shouldn't exist. And when you go to foreign companies, foreign countries, in those foreign countries, the same thing can't be sold in those countries. So why is it okay to sell it to us? You know why? United Healthcare. When you have a country that pays for the healthcare, not everybody is sick is their responsibility. When you have a country that make money off of the healthcare and make money off of the prison system, they make money the more people that are in prison. And those prisons are suing the states that have them in it because they're expected to hold a certain amount of prisoners. How is that possible? Certain things are allowed that shouldn't be allowed. And when you start allowing those things, you have to expect the ignorance that come along with them. Like I expect the ignorance that come along with allowing my kid to bring in something in my house that I don't allow. You should expect the ignorance that come along with it. Like I should expect him to take his little $10 and go buy a whole bunch of chips and fill up the cabinets for them. But when you allow that type of bull, that's when you get it. So I don't allow. We create our own demons. And in creating demons, I realized that. And I realized that was my biggest problem. So I'm not going to, boys, let's take your vitamins now. Let's take your vitamins now, and let's take 2 proteins now, because I'm going to cook breakfast, and I need y'all to be able to eat as much of the breakfast as possible. I don't need y'all to be full off the protein. All right? Okay. Dad, can I do that when I come back? I gotta use that. Good. So if you don't remember, I already told you. Yes, sir. Yeah, as my boys get ready for school, I'm about to get ready to start cooking their breakfast, which they're having eggs and pancakes. You all that be here for the juicing videos and stuff, pancakes and the eggs are gonna have the pulp from the juicing in the pancakes and eggs. You know it's not perfect, but it's better. They're still getting the fiber, and y'all see that the same stuff we juice is the same stuff that we also eat. So they still get their fiber. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing and you're creating the environment around you that make you happy with the things that are around you. Your mental health is very important. Me having to complain to my kids, I don't have time for that. I have kids so I can love them. They can love me. I got unconditional love. I know the people that are around me are about me. But when I'm falling off, I need somebody to keep me on. Therefore, that's what they're for. However, if they're not living by the same rules and have the same type of priorities as I have, how can they keep me on? How do they even know when I'm falling off? I need for them to love me, and also I need for them to understand why we live the way we live. So when I fall off, they can check me as well. All right? It's chaos with parents raising athletes. Remember, it takes a village to do the shit that we do. In this village, we fucking love you.